What's up, guys? It is Will here back again for another episode of Lights Camera Collect every Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We got two, not one, but two amazing co-hosts tonight. Originally, it was going to be Mr. Keco Collects by himself with just me, but I had to bring Optical into this one because the drama was just too goddamn juicy to keep Optical out of this one. So, guys, we're going to have a fun show tonight. Hopefully, it'll be productive. We're going to try to keep it as productive yet civil as possible. So it's going to be fun. But before we address the chat, let's address the panel. Keco, Sarah Keco, how you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, wanted to go ahead and put my Lord's title on there, I suppose, just because I was excited. I finally got Ser Jorah Mormont to end from 3-0. I've been waiting for that one for a long, long time. As a Thrones fan and, you know, the ultimate friend zone, Lord friend zone, if you will, I really needed my Ser Jorah. And so pour one out for our fallen comrade who never got it with Danny. So, you know, Ser Jorah, Sir Keco is here representing. What's up, everybody?
Sir Keco. Dude, Keco, how has that figured? Because I have the Optical and I have the Jaime Lannister, and it's really good.
The season 7 Jaime?
Yeah, the Jaime Lannister from season 7 or season 8, whatever it was.
Yeah. So ever since they kind of, I wouldn't say rebranded, but when they had the initial run, you know, the Night Watch Jon Snow, the original Hound, all that stuff, they were a little bit suspect. But then they either got new bodies, new head sculpting, new paint, whatever it may be. It's when they released the Night King and forward that they've all been bangers. The Tyrion head sculpt with the beard is a banger. Cersei's suspect, Sansa's a little suspect, but all the men and Arya are fantastic. The tailoring is exceptional. The Tormund's exceptional. But Ser Jorah is awesome. And I love that they even have like magnetic pauldrons for his shoulder, which is really cool. Yeah. So you can kind of move him into any position you want, put the cloak on, and then just drop that shoulder pad on there. So there's your little 3-0 Game of Thrones commercial for getting ready for House of the Dragon, everybody. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I heard 9. I heard 9 officially. 9? Okay, 9 with 9 different personalities. So
oh my God.
They're really selling this hard. Yeah. So we'll see how many lives that we end up collecting from that. But it should be good. But in all, I'm very pleased with a lot of my 3-0 Thrones pieces. And so, there's your official review. 7 out of 10.
Optical. How you doing, bro? Did you realize, Optical, that you were in a Jeopardy question the other night?
I was?
Yeah, bro. I did it. Well, it was my girlfriend's idea. I did the categories in Jeopardy. One of them was YouTubers, and I asked the popular catchphrase that you coined, and it was "beat your meat at night." So it was
I just do that. It's not a phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's literally a lifestyle. Yeah, but Lael is the one who got the question right, of course. But
of course,
happy to have you, dude. How you doing tonight, man?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. You know, I haven't been streaming lately, but you know, situations like this, I came out of retirement last night.
Yeah, exactly. All you need is some juicy drama in your back.
Hey man, any opportunity for people to hate me, so I'll just jump in there. So
add to cart, baby. Add to cart. I would love the Pennywise, by the way. So
representing here. You know.
I got to convince you to get the in art though, man. Maybe you're just happy with the Hot Toys one.
Probably not. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. But guys, let's address the chat real quick and jump into these topics because it should be fun, should be spicy. Hopefully not, but it probably will be. Sean Bean, S.Beam in the house. What's up, Sean? Very interested to hear the different opinions on this topic. Yes, we will explore. Tukathy said, "Sup, gentlemen." What's up, Tukathy? Quite enough. Hey, everyone. Hey there. Hello there. Paul Sue, drama time. Here we go again. Guess it's only human nature. Good morning, fellas. Yeah, it is, unfortunately, but we're here to prolong it. Punisher XS. Hi, everyone. How you doing, Punisher? Fat Batman's Collecting Nightmare. Hey, everyone. Maniac Collects, channel member. Thanks so much, Maniac Collects. Appreciate it, man. Evening, everyone. Riley Reviews, the ladies man himself. Let's go. Great panel as always. Carlos should be here. #1 Toys Wonderland fan. Hey, if Carlos wants to jump in, he can let me know. And, we can definitely, get into it. So Maniac Collects. Oh, more crying faces. Andre, evening all. Romarina, what's up, everyone? Let's see. The Collector #1. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's doing great on your side too, The Collector. Mr. Ibu, channel member. Really looking forward to tonight's discussion. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. Thanks, Mr. Ibu. AJ Agarusa. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thanks so much, AJ. Channel member AJ. Primetime Reviews. What's up? Eclectic Collector. Long live Toys Wonderland. Yeah, we're going to see tonight. We're going to see how far that goes. Angel. Hello. Leighton Richards. How's it going all? How's it going, Leighton? Let's see. Pedro Lopez. Hello, Pedro. Mo Collection. Hello there. Andy H. What's up to all in the chat? Sorry, that was Andy H there. Hello, gents from the UK. That's Tully, actually. What's up to all in the chat? Tully, how you doing? Tsunamo09. What's up, Tsunamo? Good to see you. Who else am I missing here? Equan, Optical and Will, Super Friends Unite. Tips are touching. Yeah, exactly, bro. They're touching across your screen right now. Optical knows this, so he's got the hot dog ready. Alien Queen, like me some drama llama. I know Alien Queen. I know. Let's see. Oh, Jock Middle said free P Rockzilla. Is P Rock in jail or something? Toys Wonderland put him in jail? He's in the Toys Wonderland jail. Gina B, ready for another good chat. Thanks, Gina. We're gonna try. KG Chalamet, let's go. UK Sith. Hi, UVP. VIP Hot Toy streamers. Hello there. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it as a compliment. Shiny. I wonder if Alice's Wonderland causes this much shit. Yeah, I don't know. Dr. Mill said, optical, check your camera settings on StreamYard. You look 480p. You look fine now, optical. I don't know. Dr. Smizzle, he's probably downloading porn or something. I don't know. He's
on my, Frostbite or
Frostbite. I meant Doc was
down. Did I hear LimeWire?
LimeWire.
Yeah, that was.
I heard there was like a Kaza bear share in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are like real back. Those are,
I don't even know if I'm really downloading porn right now, or it's
right. So it's just automatic. You have a subscription. That's why you need a VPN, bro. You know this. Natalie G, the three amigos. Happy Friday. And Joker J, 5-star panel. What's up? Dinesh, channel member. Hey everyone. He said, got that Toys Wonderland camera. Yeah. That discounted camera. All right, guys. Let's not bury the lead here because something actually happened. I think it was this morning, last night, sometime around there. Depends on which time zone you live in, right? There was an announcement posted by Hot Toys. Howard Chan posted this himself. He posted it on I don't know if he did, but it felt like he did, right? They posted an announcement sort of about Toys Wonderland, just saying like sort of, disavowing them as a distributor. So what's interesting about this is maybe other people have seen something different. I guess Toys Wonderland at some point claimed they were a distributor. That's what Hot Toys, I guess, is arguing. They have been, I've always thought they were a reseller and they have legality to do that. But Hot Toys thinks differently. There's something going on here. Optical gave me a really good analogy. I'll let him share. But there's something going on here that is alarming Hot Toys or Sideshow for that matter. We'll probably get to them on this one. Enough that there was an announcement that needed to be made. So maybe Toys Wonderland is moving enough volume that this is concerning. Sideshow is not happy, right? They're killing the prices on a lot of these figures. Boba Fett's $120. I mean, it's like, it's $280 figure. So things are not good for the market right now. Something that's Toys Wonderland's fault, some not. So we'll see. But Hot Toys, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit further here. They've made an announcement just saying that Toys Wonderland misleads people. We advise people to purchase collectibles through their other channels, official channels. This is obviously why, certain people, I guess, are not let into certain events, I guess. I don't know. But it's a whole thing. But okay, I want to start actually with Keco before we get to Optical's thoughts on this one. Keco, what does this actually mean for collectors? Is there anything like actionable, interesting here? Like, what do you think is the big news here, if anything?
The big news is that it has the community together talking. That's the big news, is that it brought us all together for mutual disdain and drama. And so people love that type of stuff. And so it was I was shocked, honestly, when I woke up this morning and took the babies out. And I was like, oh, well, this is interesting because as you had mentioned, they're obviously moving some volume enough to where a company and we don't know any numbers when it comes to, Hot Toys and things like that. That's one thing that they're notorious for. And I've even done a video about is that there's zero communication other than like things like this, which makes things like this that much more substantial because you just don't get a lot of, feedback, from the company. You never know what their sales numbers are, what their addition numbers are. You get very little information. So when something like this happens, it's newsworthy because you usually don't get a lot of stuff. It's out of the norm. And for them to specifically name a little guy, it makes it seem as if, they may be bigger than what we may have come to know. Toys Wonderland, that is. Naturally, there is a large YouTube following for those that support, this organization and such. And so you can look at the subscriber count and see that there is a huge pool of people that are driven towards that website. And then with that being said, is that there's plenty of people on the Reddit, Facebook threads, all that stuff that while for every 10 good results, there's probably 2 or 3 really, really bad examples. And I know that's the way it's going to be with any business. You'll always have the people that are scourged and upset will always be the loudest. The minority will always be the loudest. But the things that they are being accused of are concerning. It's not like a, hey, this thing took too long, blah 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 blah, or it's usually something super shady. And when you have multiple shady instances, that's when I think you should at least entertain the question and at least entertain the criticism that's brought forward. I know you'd asked, what does this mean for collectors? I think it brings us all together to at least find out what your options are, because there's so many people out there that just don't know what your options are when it comes to buying collectibles. Can you only go to Sideshow? Do you have to go to Hong Kong? What are your options? And I think with so many people coming into the collecting game and they're very inexperienced, and that's going to be normal, because as this hobby continues to grow, there's going to be a lot of people that want to know and learn more about it. So they're naturally going to gravitate towards the bigger things. That's the way gravity works. You're drawn towards the bigger object, and that's the bigger object. And so if you can inform people enough, then I think that's a good thing. And so then let people make their educated decisions by that. If people are informed and then they make their decisions, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I mean, in Keco, Toys Wonderland put out actually 2 different rebuttals to this. So we'll see how that goes.
And the more rebuttals you make, the more awkward it makes it.
Yeah, it does, bro. It does. Because it's funny, like Collecting Madness to say Toys Wonderland put out a statement too. Yeah, we're going to, like I said, get to those obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Someone was asking, like Tully was saying, do we think we're going to get any legal action? I don't think so. But Optical, where are you at on this one? Where are you at on this whole, dilemma that's going on? I got to bring Carlos in though on this one too.
Oh,
Carlos,
why do you have to do that, man?
Because I sent him a message. I was like, "Do you want to join this, bro?"
I just talked to this guy last night.
I know that's too much, Carlos. In one,
dude, that's a lot. That's way too much, Carlos, for you.
All right, Carlos. Before I get to you, Optical, give me your thoughts, bro. Tell the people the analogy you gave me, because it was beautiful.
Okay, so me and Carlos were talking about this last night. I've always felt like I mean, these are Asian companies, man. For somebody who grew up in Asia half of his life, I know how they operate. As an Asian myself, I know how they operate, right? I was always under the impression that Toys Wonderland and Hot Toys has a little side deal going on the side. They got some extra stocks that happened to got lost in the shuffle, or got lost in a van that they threw in the Toys Wonderland way for them to sell for $100. So the analogy we had was like, I feel like Hot Toys was forced to make this statement because their wife, Sideshow, caught them cheating with their side chick, which is Toys Wonderland. So the same face, they got to put out the statement. But if it's one of the weakest statements out there. If you read the statement back, I was like, hey, it recently came to our attention. It was like, where were you 2 years ago? God, you heard of Toys Wonderland just recently? Really? It was just like,
yeah, right.
They're like, we advise you guys not to purchase from them. Advice? Like, how about I don't follow your advice? It's just like, you're both in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
If you really want to press charges, you're the one who can do it, right? But putting Toys Wonderland out of business is like saying third party's not going to exist anymore. It's never going to happen.
Right.
Like they would just change their name to like Park Wonderland or something.
Park Wonderland.
What are they gonna do? We're gonna shut down their yeah, they don't have a brick and mortar store, so we don't even know where they operate. It's like, what are we gonna do? Shut down their website? Yeah, they'll make a new one.
It's called Comic Sanctorum.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
It's like looks exactly the same.
Yeah, right. You're on the same email list. So
We're just like, but to Keco's point here is like, what does it mean for collectors? The Toys Wonderland scenario, not a problem, because I don't really have any problems with them. I don't have any problems with you hustling and all that stuff, right? You do what you got to do, man. It's just toys we're talking about. I'm not taking this way too seriously here. It's not like they're exporting child to foreign countries here.
right.
Wow, they're selling unauthorized toys. It's like they don't have a license to distribute. It's like, oh God, what are we gonna do now? Let me pray at night. But it's kind of dangerous here for new people, because they're endorsed by the biggest YouTuber, so to speak, which is Justin, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's the biggest one out there. So you see him, you endorse him, you buy them. Let's say I'm new, because we're experienced. We know when to buy and when not to buy from Toys Wonderland, right? But a new guy, a new collector, it might be the first sour experience that they're gonna experience. Like, oh man, I chose the 6 to 10 day shipping. I got it 7 weeks later. Is this really how it operates? And then you're gonna be like, man, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. In that sense, I mean, that's kind of bad, but at the same time, I'm not going to really feel bad for you because you didn't do your research before buying a $300 toy, kind of like, dude, it's like, do research first, man. It's a $300 toy. And at the end of the day, you bought a toy and you got bamboozled when you bought a toy. So, I mean, too bad you lost 300, but at the same time, it's like, you just bought a toy for 300. So
you can afford a $300 toy. Exactly.
If you can afford a $300 toy, I won't feel too bad for you.
You've really put my life into perspective.
You really reframed my whole life right now.
I think I'm going to go ahead and check out right now because I've heard everything I need. And
I'm going to list all my collectibles. Right
appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for helping me.
I almost felt bad for you, and then I remembered you bought a $300.
I almost felt bad for you.
Almost felt bad for you, but
it's like when you bought the War Machine from them, and they were like, "We can give you store credit." You're like, "No."
It's like, I don't want a goddamn store credit. I don't want to buy from you again. But here's like, did you hear me? It was like, I want a refund. I'll refund you the entire purchase in the form of store credit. It's like, again, I don't want that. But yeah, what does it mean for collectors? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. This is a slap in the wrist. The Hot Toys was just forced to make the statement because their wife caught them cheating. And I'm telling you, like,
that's
tonight,
an excellent analogy. Yeah,
they're still gonna sleep with their side chick. I was like, I'm sorry, babe, I gotta put this on Facebook because my wife will do this. But hang on tight, because
hang on tight.
I'll see you again 2 weekends from now, not this weekend, because she's still mad.
I gotta let it die down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta cool down the situation here, but yeah, nothing. This wouldn't change a thing. Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, because it's with Toys Wonderland, sometimes they'll be like, your figure was lost. They'll be like, we can give you a savings bond. We'll send you like a gift card to Chili's, something else, right? Yeah. It's a fucking, I don't know. Sometimes they do a really good job, but not always. Carlos, hit us with your honest thoughts, bro. What does this actually mean for collectors?
Yeah. Can you zoom in on the logo real quick?
The logo? Hold on. Let me see if I can
zoom in.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, a little more.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Go up.
A little more.
A little more. Does that say Toys Wonderland or say Justin's Collectibles? Because I'm pretty sure
you made me do all that just to make that joke.
Jesus Christ.
Har.
I'm pretty sure, bro. This was probably written by Justin, bro. It definitely looks like it. But look, so what was your question again? Because I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's the yellow one at the bottom.
Well, just like your overall opinion, Carlos, and what does it mean for collectors?
I mean, I don't really think this matters, right? I mean, at the end of the day, man, like Toys Wonderland's gonna keep doing what they're doing. Like Hot Toys could have came out and be like, oh yeah, like this is by Sideshow, or I'm sorry, we all, or I think at least that Sideshow made them come out with that press release or whatever it was. I mean, this doesn't mean anything. They can put out whatever they want. I mean, how are they gonna stop them? Because the biggest thing, I don't know, Optical or if Keco, you guys talked about this, but if Sideshow is getting, I don't know, 10,000, or if Hot Toys go, oh, we're going to make 50,000 Gwen Stacy's, and Sideshow's like, well, we're only going to order 10. All right, cool, no problem. Like, where is the other 40 going to? You know what I mean? Like, they have to have some sort of back deal with Toys Wonderland. So sure, they're probably saying it out, just to make sure that they're pleasing their company or Sideshow. But the whole, like, it's been, and Optical and I were talking about it, but just come to our recent attention, or it's come to our attention, like, dude, you guys have known about Toys Wonderland for a while, like, you know what I mean? Because if they were going to Secret Bays, like the same person keeps showing up with the same like order for like fucking 50 Gwen Stacy's. At one point, you're like, damn, do you like Gwen Stacy that much, or or what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I don't think this actually means anything, man. I feel like this is just another thing that Toys Wonderland's going to go through, and they're going to keep making, more figures and keep discounting them. How do you stop them? You know what I mean? Like, and why would Hot Toys even stop at this point? Like, it's better for them to make more figures, right? Now, Sideshow may order smaller batches, and, they may not care. Well, they may not be able to stop resellers. Maybe Sideshow's like, well, we can't stop them, but we can stop ourselves from having a huge stock by limiting pre-orders or doing a pre-order window or something. You know what I mean? But I don't think this really means anything. I mean, how do you stop Toys Wonderland at this point? You know what I mean?
I want to
So
push back for just a quick second and get opinion on this. Is that
Yeah.
if with the conspiracy potentially that they're in bed together, let's assume that, then what is the optical, no pun intended, of what is the optical of the issue with them banning Ryan from the little conference and then Justin getting mad and all that stuff? Was that just a PR stunt that they fabricated
it could have
completely
been.
together? Or was there, I mean, if they are in bed together, why even do
Yeah.
that?
Because
I mean, I don't know, dude. The Kardashians have done worse. I mean, I wouldn't see it past
That's
Toys Wonderland.
that's fair.
Kardashians.
You know what I
Damn.
mean?
Well, once again, this is
You know what-
twice in a row. My entire life has been reevaluated. I'm just going to sign out now. Goodbye.
You know
You
what
joined
I
the
mean?
wrong
I mean,
stream,
Kim-
Keco. Tonight.
Dude,
you
in
know
that
what I mean?
analogy, so
Kim married
Ryan,
someone out of
dude, Ryan is the friend of my side chick. I can't be seen with a friend of my side chick. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
evidence right there. We can't be photographed together, man. I was like, my wife's gonna know.
Exactly.
My
And,
wife's gonna know.
You know, Hot
Damn,
Toys,
this
dude,
analogy
Hot
makes a
Toys
lot more
press
sense
release.
now.
It does.
Hot Toys, you know, and then you know, it's funny because I was talking about it's like Hot Toys press release was in English, bro. Like, you know, if it was in both languages, sure, but it was in English only, dude. Like, you know, they were just like, here it is for the English
God,
collectors for
damn it,
Sideshow.
Carlos. Why can't you be not racist for just once?
I'm Hispanic, I can't be
It's not
racist,
in
bro.
his, But yeah, I get where you guys are all coming from on this one. So I don't know if you guys have seen, I don't know that I've seen Toys Wonderland claim their official distributor of Hot Toys. I've seen that for others like InArt or whatever, but not for Hot
Right.
Toys. Maybe I missed that somewhere. But in full,
No, I think they were saying, like-
objectivity. Yeah.
I think people were just saying like, or maybe they had the misconception that they were. I
Yeah.
guess you know, almost like
I think-
who's up? Who would thought that though? I don't know. Maybe like a day one collector because day two
Maybe because
collectors
of
will
how
literally
much
know.
product they're moving. But what do you think, Optical?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
the
know.
optics because they're not the same. They're too big now. They're too big for their own good that they brought attention to themselves. Like you see this, Hot Toys didn't mention Tim Cent, arguably the second largest one,
Right.
but they just move so much volume that at this point you might as well be a distributor. This is me and Carlos were talking about. Gone are the days where they hire 50 people to stand in line. The way they move their product now, it feels like they're just not paying people to line up. I mean, how many people do you know, really?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't even have
Yeah, I know
500
a lot of
people.
people.
Maybe
Grandmas
that's just me
have to
because
stand in line.
I'm a douche. But but I highly doubt that those guys like, hey, 500 people, come on, go get me $100 stormtrooper.
No, yeah,
here.
that's not what
Like,
they do. It has
Yeah.
to be. I mean, think about it, bro. Like, let's say if Philip gives me a ticket, he's like, "Hey, man, go get 20 Gwen Stacy's, 20 Taskmasters, and whatever it is." I'm gonna walk into Secret Base and be like, "Oh, here's my order." Right? Cool. Next day, I do the same shit, and then over and over and over, you're like that seems a little weird, right? Like, why this person keeps coming back? But as long as they're selling product, they're not gonna care. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
at this
think
point, Hot Toys has known about Toys Wonderland and they're okay with it. Because how else with Toys Wonderland? Sure, sometimes they lose the product, whatever. But eventually you'll get it, whether you get that figure or something else, you're still getting something. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just feels like they've known about them for a while now. It's just like, how do you
How can-
not?
how
know
can you
who's buying
not? Like,
stuff?
what is Hot Toys
Like-
gonna say next? It's like we brought to our attention that Justin reviews our figures. It was like just now. It was just
yeah, like just yeah. It's like, dude, Sideshow. You know, we all know that I got banned from Sideshow, and I created a new email. And these fuckers- and these
You're banned from
fuckers blocked
everywhere,
me again.
Carlos.
And they blocked me
your
again.
IP. Yeah.
Yeah, they got my IP. So I was like, bitches, I'm gonna block my IP, and now they can't track me, right? The point is, if Sideshow knows who I am after just one purchase, Hot Toys is not gonna know after fucking 100,000 of whatever they're selling to Toys Wonderland. Like, really, dude? Come on now. You know what I mean?
Well, and
So, I don't know.
also, Sideshow tried to take down Toys Wonderland's website a while back. So obviously, Sideshow and Hot Toys communicate. Like they had to have known. I mean, they knew. They probably just didn't feel like Optical said they needed to out their side chick until now. But maybe they're not in bed together. I don't know. Maybe Toys Wonderland just buys a lot of stock and they know a lot of people and he has a lot of friends and he sends them all to pre-order one at a time. But I don't know, man. Or maybe like I think one of you guys mentioned it before. Like they list things, but they don't actually have it yet, which is why it takes so long to ship. Like they will list that Taskmaster and they'll list like 100 of them, but they'll only have like 30 of them. And then they'll go get them later. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. But things take a hell of a long time to ship sometimes when they're supposed to be 6 days, it seems like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But even then, I mean, I just feel like how many... I don't think they're getting 100. See, if it was like 100, I would be like, yeah, that's reasonable. but I feel like they're getting a ton of stock. I feel like everyone is always buying from them or getting a ton of product. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think it
Yeah.
would just be 100. And even if it was, that's one figure. Like put 10 figures, it's 1,000 pieces. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
feels like Hot Toys is like, oh, getting a secret anonymous text, like, hey, we need, I don't know, 1,000 Iron Man, and whoever's a worker supposedly forgets the keys in the van, like at 2 a.m., like, you know what I mean, in the middle of the night or some shit. They're like, oops, I forgot the keys and they got stolen. You know what I mean? Like something happened. I feels like that's the kind of deals that's happening.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like, okay, they're getting, if let's go to the other theory where they get this stock in other avenues in Hong Kong, right? Not the I left the keys in the van. So that means that shop would sell it a lot lower than 250. So that shop is selling that 2-pack boba for 180 for them to sell for 250.
Right.
Goddamn, Hong Kong is a god gift to
It is a collector.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus, like that 2-pack should be like $200 then for them. And they have the, like, when they do that sale, sometimes, as a business, you would do this kind of sale to get attention to you. At this point, I don't think that the Toys Wonderland is that anymore. They're big enough that they don't need to drop their prices just to draw people in.
I don't
And
know,
they
man.
didn't
I
put
feel
a
like you're kind of
quantity.
wrong on that.
They didn't put a quantity on it anymore. It's kind of like, hey, we have like 10 2-pack boba that if you're fast, you can get it for like 250. No, they were just like, keep on ordering, guys. We got you. So they have
I don't
this
know,
like
man. It feels like with Toys Wonderland, like they kind of needed that because there was a ton of YouTubers and few that have gone live already that were like, "Fuck Toys Wonderland, 250 2-packs Boba Fett, add to cart, baby." You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of YouTubers who are like,
but
"Yeah,
like
no,
Toys Wonderland's
Well-
target market is not us. Their target market is the
Right,
new
right.
guys who's coming in because
My point
Or
is like
YouTubers, yeah, but
yeah, we're not gonna
it's
shop
still
there
about
unless
that.
it's like dirt cheap. Like the people who are
But-
watching us right now, they're informed. So most likely they want the new guys coming in. It was like, oh, I have no idea what Hot Toys is, and according to this YouTube, then they're awesome. So let me buy from them.
Well, yeah. Well, Keco, do you buy from Hong Kong resellers much anymore?
So this is true transparency. I've never bought a thing from Toys Wonderland, never have. And I remember, I think it was on your stream a few months ago when I kind of aired my dirty laundry that I had an issue with Pop Collectibles. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So Pop was the guy that I had went to for a lot of my stuff. And so we had a little bit of a falling out, and we had eventually kind of chatted through and was like, hey, not cool. This was not cool. We have since chatted, made it right, and respect to them for owning the mistake, coming clean on what they need to. And we got back on good terms. And I've said, okay, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you being open and communicating with me. And that's what I want, transparency and communication. And there was a little bit of I wouldn't say it's a probationary period, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a one-time type of, oh, I messed up, I'm going to kind of like when you do something stupid and you try to be good and then you can be stupid again after that. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get screwed over again. That was my thing. And so there was a wait and see moment to see just how they'd respond. And I can respond back affirmatively that I've been impressed with their communication, their transparency with me. And I can now say that I am willing to use them again for things that I need, not like things I need, but when I need something quicker than the average, Sideshow type of thing. And if the price makes sense. So I'm confident, and I can say to the people here on this stream as well, feel free to buy confidently from Pop Collectibles, and I feel like they will do the right thing now as far as the communication. Because I said that is the thing I'm going to stress is communication. Unless the money does not mean things to me. It's the communication. I've told you that. And if you're not going to be straight with me, that's going to be my issue. But I've been extremely pleased with the way they've communicated with me since.
Yeah.
Story about
I
Pop
get what you mean.
Collectibles. You guys want to hear it?
Do I know?
What'd you say, Carlos?
I have a story about Pop Collectibles. You want to hear it?
Is it a good one?
I don't know.
That depends. Are you going to sell Keco the Actor 1 for $2,500?
We said 3,000, and Keco needs to hurry up. So that's on Keco. I have a story. So what it was is that, all right, so you guys know I needed a first day badge Mark 85, right? Because Robert Downey Jr. was going to sign it. So I bought one from Pop. I think it was like $640 or some stupid shit. Right, it was really high, but I needed it because I needed it signed for obvious reasons. But in his website says that if they lower the fee and they lower the price, then they have to honor that price, for that new whatever dollar that it was. Anyway, when the figure came out, they still had not shipped it, and I think it was like $540 shipped or something like that, right? They had dropped it by like $120 from when I bought it, and I talked to them about it, and they said, "Well, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. We're just gonna, we can't give you a new figure." They hadn't even provided a tracking number. So I said, no, like, I don't want this figure, whatever, right? Because I mean, it's 120 less, and you have to honor this because things that we had talked about in the past, or even on his website, right? Anyways, I ended up not going with him. He never refunded me. Amex loved it, and they, just gave me back my money back like in a day or two. So I ended up going with Tim Sen, and I got it for like 20 less than Pop Collectibles. So that's my story with Pop Collectibles there. And ever since then, I just haven't bought with them anymore. So.
See,
Carlos, question: are you banned from Pop Collectibles too?
Probably.
I mean, my email is, but not me. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Keco knows this, that Carlos is banned from like every retailer ever. So,
I'm banned from basically
major or not
everywhere,
major.
Yeah, yeah.
It's mostly for canceling pre-orders, but guys, we got to move on to the next topic.
Stories.
Yeah, you do. It is a related topic, but we'll get to it. I have a super chat to address. Mr. John Deek, thanks so much, John. Hey, Will, big fan. Thanks so much. Do you know if Toys Wonderland has any owners of the company outside of China? If not, I would assume there is. Not that I know of, but I don't know shit. So do you guys know anything about this? Because, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
anything.
now that you asked, no, I don't.
Yeah, right. No, I don't. Dude, no one shares
fact.
anything with me. So, but I don't know. Could be, but not that I would know of. So, guys, let's go ahead and address the next topic because we got some more Hong Kong reseller shit. People are just here for the spicy drama tonight. What impact do they have on collecting? We've kind of talked about this a little bit. I want to share someone different than, I could share Pop, I could share Tim Cent, anyone. These are the big dogs, right? Toys Wonderland's the biggest. Then we got Tim Sen and Toys Buying Agent, rather. And then we got Pop Collectibles, right? Those are definitely the big three. There are some others here and there for sure. But what impact do you think they're having on collecting? Because for me, I feel like maybe they're, at least Toys Wonderland at least, is kind of setting the market. They're changing the market pretty drastically. So I want to start again, Keco, with you on this one. What do you think, what impact do you think these Hong Kong resellers are having on the market? And like how, because the collecting game is changing a lot since these resellers have gotten bigger. It just seems very different to me.
Well, I think you have to ask who is impacted regionally, because the people that are in Hong Kong and Asia, that's who they go to, especially if they can get deals that are ridiculous compared to, what retail is here in the States. I'm here in the States, and Sideshow is the, North American distributor and all that. So a majority of North American people probably go with Sideshow because of there's less risk. And so when you have these other resellers out there, and especially people start putting stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and every time they put a new release on there, and they'll be, where did you get that? And 9 times out of 10, it'll be some Hong Kong reseller because they got it quick, and then people want it quick. That's what they do. And I think that's where it all comes down to is, should we care about it? I think it depends on how fast you want stuff. If I know there's some people that will not pay a dime over retail because they're like, I want to pay under retail. I will wait 15 years to get this if I can get it for a good deal. But then there's the other people like me that I'm willing to, pay a little bit extra because you don't want to just sit there and see other people have things. And I know that's a personality flaw of myself, but at the same time, okay, when can I get this? How much more is it? Oh, that seems reasonable. I'll pay an extra $50 to have it now. And I think that's the question that you need to ask yourself is, what impact does it have? I don't know if it sets the market. It sets the secondary market ablaze. I will say that. And maybe that's what you're asking. And when it comes to secondary market, because if you can get a 2-pack for $200, anybody listing their stuff on eBay is fucked because no one's going to pay no one's going to pay for more than what you can get it at Hong Kong. So that's the only thing, is that I think you'd mentioned that it's maybe manipulating the market, but should we care? I don't know. It depends on what you want to do and when you want to collect and how much you're willing to pay for it. Some of those people, as I've said, will pay the premium and they don't care. Some people will not pay the premium and they want it under retail and they still don't care. So it's kind of like when you're with your like view on politics, you kind of view this side, and there's nothing you can do to change that. You can't say, hey, did you see what just happened? no one cares. If you're this way, you're that way. If you're this way, you're that way. You're not changing. There's nothing you can do to change your mind. And I feel like it's the same way with this.
Right. And it's interesting because pop culture is doing it right now too, probably because of the battery situation that they're undergoing with the legality of it. But, for example, Carlos and I have talked about this, about Rescue, for example, or Boba Fett, right? When Toys Wonderland or other places are listing Rescue for $200, Sideshow discounting Rescue for 10% is never going to work, because no one's ever going to buy Rescue for $360 when they could buy it for $200, right? So it's just not, that's what I mean, Keco, by setting the market, because even the Boba Fett right now, this sale, it was lower before. The single pack Boba Fett was like $120 at one point. Now it's $160. Yeah. Even at $160, Sideshow is $285 retail, right? So that's never going to sell if there's a market of $160. People were willing to roll the dice for that much of a discount. That's my thing, Keco, and that's kind of why I'm interested in that, because I feel like it's not just Toys Wonderland. The other resellers are playing a part in this too. It's good for us because we're getting lower prices, but what does it do to the overall market and like these shops and everything? That's what I'm starting to realize. Like I've seen Josh Comic Concepts talk about that quite a bit. Like he's pretty outspoken about it and how it hurts these shops. So, but I guess that's the open market. That's the free market. That's just how it works. Because these guys aren't really doing anything illegal. It seems like they're reselling, but it has an effect. It seems like. From
a business standpoint, it depends on your return on investment, your cost analysis, things like that. I mean, it depends on how much profit you want to make, and I guess however much they're paying for it, whatever their markup is, if it's not within the reason. I guess it's a Sideshow issue at that point, if that's what we're talking about. If they're paying X amount of dollars to get figure over here, they have to mark it up at a certain place. Otherwise, they'll go out of business because they're not making money on anything. Mm-hmm. Granted, if you're over in Hong Kong and you're paying this, it's going to be different regardless of, kind of where you're at. But it just depends on the business, how much money they want to make per piece, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean. So, Optical, how do you approach this? Like in terms of the impact it has on collecting? Do you think collectors should really care about resellers? Do we like them because we're getting cheaper shit? Like, what do you think?
For somebody who lived this, where Sideshow was the only guy in town, I can tell you it's better to be a collector nowadays. Because back then, yes, you always have those small shops, like on the side. But what do they really have to offer that Sideshow can't, though? Sideshow has reward points. They got better customer service. You can return it easily. So they're not really a competition to Sideshow. So at that point, around 2010, 2011, you have no option but to get it from Sideshow. You can get it from Big Bad Toy Store, and other things. But do they really make any difference, right? Like on Big Bad, their biggest thing back then was shipping. If you order 3 or 4, you can save a lot on shipping, right? But that's it. When all these resellers came in, because they're different from the small shops, they offer something different. Either they can give to you significantly fast, or it's significantly cheap. So that sets the precedence now. So, I mean, it's not going to affect you on the things that you're going to get anyway, but it's going to affect you on the things that you just kind of like, that if it hits a certain price point, you'll get it from those shops. Mm-hmm. So it gives you, I would say, more power, so to speak, than, hey, you know what? I don't really like Taskmaster that much, but for this price, I'll get it. And that Hot Toys is not going to go down that price. So somebody like, this is where the dead stocks come in from Sideshow, like things like Rescue, where they're not a whole lot on people's radar, but for the right price, I guarantee you a lot of people are going to buy that. And Sideshow just can't go that low. And this is where us collectors, because that's the question, should we care? As a collector, and I'm speaking right now, I do. Because imagine if there's no resellers, there is no way I'm going to buy Rescue for what Sideshow is asking. I would just live without Rescue at this point. Be like, F that. I'm not going to pay $350 for. I like Rescue. I ain't going to pay $400 for that. But now because they exist, I have the chance now to own Rescue, to own some of the figures that I might not own, that I just kind of like. Is it good and bad because I just bought a figure that I just don't really that much love? It's fine. It's okay. I'm in this collecting business that it's going to happen. I can resell it later. I bought it cheap. I can sell it cheap. That's just how I see it. So in that aspect, yes, because without those guys, without them, like Hot Toys is not going to discount something for 20%. Look at what happened now with Sideshow Con at the same time. Toys Wonderland did their summer sale and shit it all over Sideshow Con. It was just like, hey, you can get this for 10%. Toys Wonderland, hold my beer. Here's $250 for 2-pack. That's why Sideshow was so mad. After Sideshow Con, they went to their baby daddy. It was like, Hot Toys, you got to say something. Your side bitch is just like posting pictures on Facebook with you and me.
But how are they getting it this low though? Is it that much different buying it wholesale or getting it wholesale or whatever?
I don't know.
Plus the time it takes, because obviously Sideshow's paying for air freight, water freight, whatever it may be, to get it over here. So they're paying for shipping. We get that. Then the wholesale price. Or is Sideshow just the greedy bitch that says, I need to make $300 off this figure? That just seems like an insane markup from a business perspective. Or is it possible that Toys Wonderland is putting this sale on there and they have to move it out because they're losing money keeping it in stock? I just don't know what the actual price is on these things and why is there such a disparity between the two?
Carlos, did you want to answer
I saw
that
Carlos's hand.
You're raising your hand.
Carlos did raise his hand. Address the class,
Yeah.
Carlos.
Well, here's why. Okay, because in America, we pay dollars, right? We pay, $20, $15 an hour. Optical, I don't know if you happen to know this or anyone happen to know this. How much are people in Hong Kong paid per hour? What is it like?
Okay, so in
What is-
Asia,
what's-
where
much
I
is
came
child
from,
labor?
the average salary of an individual per month average is around $300, and that's considered you have a pretty good job. How
Per
can a
month?
Hot
Point.
Toys? It's $300. How can you afford a Hot Toys with $300? And that is, you have like a decent office job. Nothing's fancy. Maybe you work at a call center or something. Something like that. $300 to like $400. That's it.
Wow.
My point
And
being is like
you're asking someone to buy Taskmaster for $285. What are they going to do? Not
That's their
eat?
month salary.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my point, right? Sideshow has we can't discount them because we pay these, all these figures, right? And it's in a sense, it makes sense for them to keep them in stock because then they can actually depreciate that figure yearly on their taxes, so they get some savings on it. And then if they can sell it for a higher price, it might make sense. In Hong Kong, if they're paying like pennies to the dollar, then it's like we can't afford to actually sell it this cheap because it's going to cost us, I don't know, $1 for someone to pack it as opposed to like $20 an hour or whatever it ends up being. So I think that's kind of why we're seeing it, but
yeah. Dude, because I don't know, even like this cap, $201. I mean,
it's cheap, man. And
Yeah,
honestly,
I
I
mean,
love things for collectors, man. So that's just me. I like their resellers and all that because actually Optic and I were talking about this yesterday. It's like I actually ended up buying Vision, and I got a really great deal, right?
You
It's
did.
like
Okay.
Vision for $155. I think it was like $158 or some shit. It's
You got
probably
it.
$155 to make it easy. Yeah,
That's
$155.
really good.
Cool. Yeah, $155. And I get it, and I don't know, post a little fucker, and I realize I don't like him, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna sell him $140. I lost $10, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
No.
not trying to sound like we're rich or some shit. You know what I mean? But $10, like, as Optical put it, like, that doesn't even give you any gas nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like $100 to fill up your tank. We'll go and spend $150 on entertainment. And I got to post something and I got a chance to own it. And maybe I keep it or maybe I sell it. Big deal. But if I bought it for $270, and I'm not saying, hey, everyone should go buy from Toys Wonderland or Pop Collectibles or any, but what they do is that they set the aftermarket on Facebook to not be super high, because if Tim Seton is selling a Vision for $150, you can't sell that fucker for $240 on the Facebook groups. It's going to sit forever. You know what I mean? So I like it, man, because I think any figure that's inexpensive, man, just buy it. You know what I mean? If it's like $140, $150, something super low, buy it, enjoy it, post it, take some photos, sell it. You lose like $15. What'd you lose at the end of the day? You know what I mean? I don't know, but that's my thinking though. I don't mind selling. I know you hate selling, but that's how I see it at least.
Yeah,
Well, we do got some good comments I want to address. Like Alien Queen had mentioned, I'm in the UK, so it makes no sense to go to Sideshow for me. I save a lot on customs and shipping from Hong Kong resellers. Yeah, see, if you're outside the US, I think especially with these prices, it makes a lot more sense. But I know Anthony had dropped some comments. I want to see his. Anthony, good to see you, bro. It's not a free market though. Hot Toys is literally saying you can't sell or distribute our product, but Hot Toys have licensed distributors. They don't typically care, but when Toys Wonderland undercuts way below retail time and time again, it becomes a problem. I guess it's like a matter of are they distributing? I guess if you're defining it as like the volume, the amount they're moving, that's distribution. But I guess technically they're reselling, right? Because as far as we know, because they're buying things and then selling them. But I guess Carlos, address the class. Carlos,
his hand again.
I have a question. I don't, again, going back to it, Hot Toys can say whatever the fuck they want to say. It's irrelevant though, because they don't care, because they've known about Toys Wonderland for a long time. Like, this is not the first time we've seen sales like these. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen
Mhm.
rescue before. We saw, quarter scale Spider-Man for 340 shipped or some shit. Like, they don't care. They're caring now because Sideshow is telling them to care. But no, like, it is a free market, dude. It's fucking Asia. Everything, you know what I mean? There's no rules over there. You know what I mean? Like, so, just being honest.
Optical, can
Like,
you speak to this too?
The what?
Can you speak to this, like in terms of the free market thing? Is it like, is this fair, you think? I mean, like, because I mean, collectors are, I don't know, are we winning? I guess we're winning now in the media, but if you try to sell it, you're not winning, I guess. But
That's the thing, because it depends on what kind of collector you are. If you're the type of collector who would like to rotate your figures, then you're not, because now you're messed up, because now you're selling low. But if you're buying low and you're selling low, that's fine. If you're buying high and selling low, then that's not good, right? So
Right.
and that goes everywhere. At the end of the day, though, like you're getting, like his comment was like, "Oh, Hot Toys sets the market." Now that makes you think, how come Toys Wonderland can sell these guys for dirt cheap? How are they just purposely trying to lose money here? I highly doubt it. They're an Asian company. They're not, again, they're past the stage of, hey, we just want eyes, and here you go, we have a sale. They're moving tons of products. That's why they're the biggest reseller out there. This is all those $100. They still make a profit out of that. I can guarantee you that. They're not doing this for charity or to become famous. They're already known. So the question remains, like, how can they acquire this for $100? Like, that makes you think. If you know they're buying it from shops from Hong Kong. They have an abundance of stocks out there. We know that Star Wars is not good in Asia. I already said that. I'm from Asia. I grew up in Asia. We don't care about Star Wars out there. Is it a coincidence that all the troopers are $100 or Boba 2-pack was selling for $250 and they're being sold by Toys Wonderland for $250? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you, in terms of, depending on, if you're a collector who can hold Boba for 2-3 years, then you shouldn't care, because you bought it for $250. 2-3 years down the line, maybe somebody would buy it for $250 or $400. Then you're fine. But if you're the type of collector who's like, hey, you know what, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to sell this later, then maybe you should rethink your strategy, or maybe you should get another hobby, because this is not going to be sustainable. Because it's like pouring, we call this, in the market, it's like you're pouring water in a bucket that's holes in it. You're eventually, the water is going to drain out, so I don't know.
That was my problem. Originally it was like, I would try to get things, even at a discount here in the US, but then I started realizing that I'm like, well, I'm never gonna be able to sell these, or even 6 months or a year from now, because of what's going on in the aftermarket, right? Or I'm sorry, with resellers. So you're right. You have to buy low to essentially sell low. You know what I mean? And sometimes some figures get it and some don't. But the one thing we have is patience. You know what I mean? Well, I understand there's certain figures like a tumbler, or like maybe you want to get from Sideshow for security. Maybe you don't want to get it from Toys Wonderland. Well, I understand that. Most of the stuff is going to sit, and you can get it for, really cheap, over time. So, and I think someone said here in the chat, like, Hot Toys is becoming like Black Series. I mean, hey man, if you've owned a Black Series, it looks significantly different. While the brand may be cheapening, none of us are going to be like, oh yeah, like, fuck Hot Toys now. Like, let's go to statues and spend $1,000 plus. Stop. You're not, right? If you complain over a $30 bump, you're going to complain about a $700 bump, right? From a figure to a statue. So you're not. So it's not becoming Black Series. And if it was, or whatever it may be, the quality is still there. The head sculpts are still great. So, I mean, hey man, at
Besides
this point,
Soldier,
let it become Black Series. I'll buy them all. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, this is nothing new. Like when RoboCop first was, this is why I was surprised that they announced RoboCop. When they announced the first RoboCop, that sat on the shelves. I bought mine with a chair for $280 on Amazon. So this is not, the discounted is not because Toys Wonderland is just, killing the market. It's just like, it's the control that Hot Toys wanted. They want to control which one's going to get cheap and which one's not, and not be dictated by Hong Kong resellers. Because right now, Hong Kong resellers are telling them, dude, you gotta get rid of this, this stock. Otherwise, we'd kill you. Like, we're gonna do this to you. Now they're being forced to discount items that they don't want to. For perspective, I bought RoboCop for $280. I bought Adam West for $120. I bought Mime Joker for $130. So, and that's all from Sideshow. So this happens even before the resellers. It's just they're doing it. Now they're being forced to do things. They're being forced to put 15% off, Captain Marvel, or being forced to have 10% off on a Boba 2 pack that just literally released, So I think they don't like that. They don't like being told what to do. And now they'll be like, yeah, we got to do something about it.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing, bro.
I was going to say, Granny made a good comment. Like, I just feel bad for those people that spend $500. How they are selling a first batch figure for like $500 and selling the same thing for $200. Yeah, then that's those are, I guess first day collectors, and that's what Optical was saying. Like, if you buy from Hong Kong resellers, they can like ruin the hobby from you from buying something so expensive and then you end up selling it for so cheap. But you also have to understand that you don't listen to people who tell you that these are going to be grails day one. Like, you have to wonder. No, don't fucking wonder. It's not going to be a grail. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously not going to be that. So as long as you're listening to the right people, hopefully, then you should be good. Listen to Will and Keco and Optica. I'm pretty sure that guide you in the right path. Don't listen to me though, because I don't have a YouTube channel.
You're banned from everywhere.
Get banned.
Everywhere.
Guys, I gotta address. Carlos is banned everywhere. But I gotta address like a similar question. This ties kind of into the Hong Kong reselling thing because it really all ties into one, big bundle. Like incentivizing pre-orders. Sideshow is clearly trying, right? Sideshow is trying to keep up, and I think maybe this is good for us. Like, I mean, like they're trying to, I guess, compete with the secondary market, which like Hong Kong resellers, things like that. I know, Carlos, I'm gonna get to you. Hold on. Because I'm gonna basically like, what can they do to incentivize pre-orders? They're trying. They're giving limited releases. They're trying to give you extra accessories, but a hologram ain't gonna do it for most people. You got to give us like a little bit more. You got to pull like a cyborg, right, Keco? You got to give us a second head sculpt or something.
Even
like
then. But I'll talk about that. Carlos had his hand up.
Keco, I'm gonna let you go first before Carlos on this one. Then
okay.
But Keco, what can Sideshow do? Because clearly, like Optical and Carlos were saying, they got to do something, right? Because they don't want to discount these figures, but they're kind of having no choice to do so. So what's the best way to do it? What you can also see is they've like greatly extended the pre-order windows in terms of how long it's expected to be delivered. It used to be like maybe October to December and everything kept getting delayed. People were getting their NRDs back. Now they're widening it out so you don't have really a good of a chance of getting your NRD back unless it's like Loki or Pennywise that got delayed by like a year, right? Other than that, you're not really getting that NRD back. So they're trying to get pre-orders to get people in early and make that extra money. So Keco, what does Sideshow have to do here? Because I don't know if I feel like they're doing enough right now. They're trying.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I was trolling through the Reddit posts this morning. Once all this stuff was going on, and there was obviously some gold in there. But I went away from the Toys Wonderland threads and found something else. Someone had asked, "Oh my goodness, Wolverine's about to expire. Will this be my last moment to get him?" And everyone's like, "No, it's not." And for one, there's two things that I want to say. First off is that it's very depressing to the new collector to kind of feel like they're taking advantage of you because this guy's like, it's like, well, already secured, got Obi-Wan, Vader, RoboCop, Iron Man, all that stuff pre-ordered in the limited release window. Yay. And it showed his thing and it's like his cart was like $150 or whatever. So he just literally gave away $150 for something that may not show up for 2+ years. And I think that is super shady to do because there is no incentive. Getting that Sentinel arm that it shows with the Wolverine having, getting a Bush League hologram for Darth Vader, even like the battle damage RoboCop, the battle damage, that does not do anything for me because most of these accessories sit in the damn box. They do. Like when it comes down to it, I keep my hands and my head sculpts or whatever in my little tackle boxes and I swap them out for my photos. But a majority of those things, that I don't think I've ever posed a single photo or a single figure with a hologram or anything like that. It's just a really weak accessory. So all that to say is I think that these limited releases are extremely misleading and a lot of new collectors just jump onto it thinking that that's it. And that's a shame because that puts a real bad taste in people's mouth. With that being said, what can they do? I've been screaming this for a long time, is that if they wanted to incentivize me with a pre-order, I know it's going to take a while. I understand the production takes 12, 18 months. I get that. That's fine. But what I'd like to do is that if I'm going to hand over a non-refundable deposit, a pre-order, I want to be guaranteed maybe 10% off potentially to start. Give me 10% off to start. I want to be guaranteed first batch and I want it to be air freighted first batch. So I don't want it to come in by boat. And so I would even pay I'll even give you an option. You can take 10% off and you get first batch, or 10% off now if you pre-order, or if you pre-order now, you will be first batch and you'll get the air freighted option. Those are the two options. You get to pick which one you want. Save a little bit of money, or, pay a little bit extra and get it quicker. That's my thing, because I want the speed. And if it comes down to a pre-order, I'm not going to do it. I don't have anything on pre-order anymore. My last pre-order officially is over with the Dark Trooper, and that's it. And after that, I will wait till it becomes in stock to get anything, because there is no reason to pre-order anything at all. Not even these little things with the limited time release.
That's actually Sideshow's probably watching, taking notes right now. They're like,
I hope they do.
Write that down. Write that down.
And
because could you imagine if Sideshow offered first and second batch or 10% off? Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, especially if you could use a coupon too, right? If you could use a $20 coupon they sent you and you get the 10% offer, maybe you can pre-order for the first 30 days and you get $30 off here, 10% off, right? Or even 5% off might get some people. I mean, that's enough. But I'll hop to Optical on this one before I get to Carlos, because I want to make him wait. So Optical, bro, what can Sideshow do? I mean, they're trying. I feel like I like the effort. I mean, I know Keco said he doesn't love it. I kind of like what they're trying to do, but it does kind of create a little bit of a FOMO. I do recognize that. But what do you think, Optical?
Well, if they're watching, they should have watched our show last night, right, Carlos? We have tons of great ideas out there, but
take all the notes.
They should have taken notes. Okay, so we're talking about pre-orders. Why back then? Why do you do pre-orders? Because you're afraid that it's going to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
Until I see something sell out, I'm not going to pre-order anything. Until I see something actually sell out. Yeah, no. That's the only time I'm going to give you my money to get hold. Because what happens if you pre-order? So they can do. What happens now is a waiting game, right? Gone are the days where, I mean, Keco, to some people, we came from I want to get it first to now, man, I want to get it the cheapest. I think that's the game now. So if you pre-order, you eliminate yourself from that category. Now you can't get it cheaper because your money's tied up with 10%. You pulled out of that. You better be getting a 20% off, because otherwise you just lost 10%. You know what I mean? So what would they do to incentivize pre-orders? I don't know. Give us something better than a damn arm. It better be functional, because right now you're losing at a minimum a 10% off if you wait 2, 3, 4 months. Look at that 2-pack boba. They discounted it with 10% in free shipping. So is that Sentinel arm worth $70, $80? Because that's what you're going to save if you wait.
No.
So yeah. So as far as pre-orders, none. So to Keco's point, that's a very good idea. It's like, hey, if you give us 10% off, I don't even have to wait, because that's the savings that I'm going to get from you anyway. So let's just get it off the bat. The question is, are we ever going to get to that point where we need to make pre-orders? Because it seems like Hot Toys is just making a gazillion batches nowadays that until something sells out, there's nothing. There's no, unless they do that thing, right? Like now, me and Carlos were thinking yesterday, I think pre-orders is not the problem with Sideshow and Hot Toys. It's the volume that they're losing as far as selling. Because pre-orders, I think Hot Toys has just made up their mind. We're going to make 30,000 batches, whether you pre-order or not, because our factory gives us a discount if we make 30,000 instead of 10,000. So we're just going to make a lot. If it doesn't sell, we'll throw it at Toys Wonderland, sell it for $100. We still make some money, right? So that's that. So I think Sideshow's problem now is not the lack of pre-orders, but the lack of sale from them, because now they're competing with the other resellers. And how can you compete with resellers? I think that's the bigger question now, not pre-orders, because pre-orders, we're not going to pre-order. The newbies are going to pre-order. But us, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to compromise my potential $70, $80 savings for a hologram, with free shipping. So how can they compete with the resellers? They can't go that low. They can't mark down, what do you call that? Rescue for like $280. They just can't do that. But our solution last night was that instead of incentivizing us, there's two things. You can give us an item that is exclusively for Sideshow. And I'm not talking about hologram, second head sculpt or a battle damage piece, to change the chest plate or whatever. That would significantly improve your figure, that you will think, hey, if they sell it on eBay for $80, I'll get that one piece right there. Because head sculpts are selling for $120, $150. So now you're going to be like, man, if I buy it from Hong Kong, it doesn't have a head sculpt or that piece. It's like now I'm forced to buy from Sideshow, right? Or if that's too much, because maybe tooling and all that stuff is going to be difficult for Hot Toys, give us a booster on reward points. Now you're not incentivizing me with money, you're incentivizing me with reward points. That means I'm still have to go back to you and spend that reward points. You're not giving me a discount. You're giving me reward points. So it's like, hey, if you buy this rescue for 10% off with free shipping, I can't go down to 280 like Toys Wonderland, but I'll give you 30% reward points instead of 5. So
Wow.
now it's
Yeah, see, that
somewhat
would be different.
closer to, Toys Wonderland, because you got to factor in that reward points. Oh, Keco's raising his hand.
Just the class, Keco.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure to say this because I saw it in the chat and I wanted to bring it up. Is that Travis and DS Icons were talking back and forth about. They're like, well, that's on Hot Toys for not sending it, and that right there is the point. Is that Sideshow could pay for air freight, because that's how I get the stuff over from the Hong Kong resellers. Is I pay for the air freight, and I know that it can be here in 4 days if they really wanted it to. But yeah, you have to pay a little bit extra. And so if Sideshow wants to have my sale, literally my sale, then they need to say, okay, let's make these numbers work to where I can air freight X amount in here. We still make profit. We keep this customer. And then that's it. That is literally it. I don't care, because I know I'm not getting it day one in Hong Kong anyway, because it's going to take at least 4 or 5 days to get here from day one. Yeah. But if it releases in Hong Kong, because there's like, oh, well, Hot Toys has to hold back the release batch, that way I don't care. I just don't want to wait 6 months. 6 days is fine. 6 months is the problem. And that's the issue that I'm having.
Yeah, that makes sense. So like, as far as what Optical was saying though, guys, I actually really like that idea. I mean, if we were strategizing, if Sideshow could eat that type of, of loss in rewards, I guess you could say, but maybe it wouldn't be 30%, but maybe just a regular pre-order like Wolverine. Maybe you do like what Keco says. Okay, we're going to take 10% off the price if you pre-order. We're going to give you the extra accessory. And instead of 5% rewards, you get 10%. Like, that might be something then that might get some people, right? Yeah. Like, and especially if you make the accessory a little bit better. If you make the accessory a little bit better, you say 10% off, and we're going to give you double the rewards if you pre-order. Like that, I think, gets to the point where people will be like, okay, I feel incentivized. Like, as long as Sideshow's not losing too much money there, they might be. I don't know, maybe it's not, it's not possible. It's not
because the only incentive they're doing is a shady incentive, and it just has people talking bad about them. They're like, wow, real smooth move, real cheap hologram, limited time release, and picking on people to FOMO them into getting this. That's not incentivizing. That just makes me more angry and makes me want to run away.
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Carlos, what do you think, bro? What can Sideshow do? Drop some knowledge on us.
All right. So, I was talking with Optical last night, and we talked about like, if Toys Wonderland can give you a $250 shipped rescue, but if it's $400, 10% free shipping, that brings it down to $360. You get like $50 in rewards, brings it to $310. Is that $50 or $60 worth of, hassle-free and good customer service from Sideshow? I think a lot of people would probably go on that route, right? But the reality, and one of the things we were talking about is that at the end, if the numbers make sense, as far as if they realize, hey, even if we depreciate these assets over a certain amount of years, we're still not profitable, or it doesn't make a lot of sense. If I'm Sideshow, I know I cannot control the way resellers are out there, but I can control how much I fucking order, right? How big my batch is going to be. So while I understand that these time pre-orders may not be ideal or can see as FOMO, if I'm Sideshow, if I'm the owner of Sideshow, and I'm saying, well, there's nothing we can do, but at least we can make sure that we don't have Mark 50 sitting, or Hulkbuster sitting, or Captain Marvels from the original first movie still sitting. What we can do is make sure we only order what's pre-ordered or what's been pre-ordered, right? And I will stop it. Because if you can't stop Toys Wonderland, well, at least you can stop yourself from having dead stock and losing money, right? You can have a little bit over, sure, but I think that's probably what I would do if I'm Sideshow. I mean, because we can say, well, it doesn't make sense because they're going to eat into their profit margin. But if a 405 rescue with 10% off is sitting, everything is sitting. If this is not going to incentivize you to get,
you're losing money that way because you're not making a sale.
Then you're losing money regardless. So the best thing you can do, unless they have a contract with Hot Toys saying they have to order a minimum, but let's say that's not there, just limit the pre-order, the entire thing. Put a 30-day pre-order window. That's it. What happens in Hong Kong is irrelevant because you can't stop them anyway. That's how I would do it. If I'm Sideshow, it doesn't matter what happens overseas or in the aftermarket, at least for the next year or two, it's irrelevant to my business right now. And I honestly believe this is why the Ecto 1, the Afterlife one, never showed up on Sideshow. I think it's too expensive, big ass box. I don't think they wanted to, take on that dead stock. I don't think they wanted to. And I think that's where they're not carrying. But you see like Comic Concepts, Spec Fiction, even small mom and pop shops are carrying it, but not Sideshow. It has to be a thing because they just didn't want to carry that much product, you know? Man, that's kind of what I think. That's what I would do if I'm Sideshow. I would stop pre-orders altogether by putting a pre-order window on everything. I can't stop them. I can't stop everyone, but at least I can stop myself from, bleeding dry, essentially. So,
Yeah, makes sense. And I wanted to ask Travis super chat here. Thanks so much, Travis. $5. Appreciate that, bro. Sideshow cares too much about their high margins. They need to do more to get the impatient people's figures in the same time frame as folks in Hong Kong. Because I do like Keco's idea too about if Sideshow did offer first batch, second batch, like maybe that would get you to pre-order. Like I want first batch, right? Not for me, but I think there would be people like Keco wants his fast. So I think there's a market for that. I think if you're getting it from Sideshow with great customer service and you're getting it fast, like buying Toys Wonderland fast is different because if something's fucked up, you're going to be not happy.
Yeah.
But like with Sideshow, yeah.
I guess for me, it would be like, well, even if you can get it from first day, it's like, well, you're going to give me 10% off and free shipping, but does that really matter? Because you can get free shipping on a Vision or a Kenobi. We know this thing is going to be like $200 shipped. So that 10% is irrelevant. Now, I guess from that perspective of first date, but how many collectors really would care about that knowing? I think that would only matter if, again, they put a pre-order window on the entire thing. You know what I mean? I would assume so. So, I mean, again, if I'm Sideshow, that would be the thing I would do. I wouldn't give people free rewards. I feel like I'm losing money. But if I can lower my debt stock significantly, I'm winning that way. So
yeah,
and then everyone's fucked and has to rely on Hong Kong resellers, and then that's going to incentivize them naturally to pre-order with Sideshow moving forward.
Yeah.
So.
See, to our point earlier, we're thinking of ways on how Sideshow could get back on this business. Why? Because there's resellers out there who can offer something better.
Right.
Now, they evolved. The resellers evolved from, it's like they looked at Sideshow and they were like, they're not shipping fast. Let's do first day batch. They did that. Now they're like, they're expensive as hell. You got tax. Let's drop this thing. And Sideshow, it feels like they haven't evolved yet. Like they're in their model where we're the king, we can do whatever we want. And they're slowly realizing it feels like, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate Sideshow. I like them. But it feels like, hey, it's a wake-up call. You got to do something different now.
Yeah. What do you think, Keco?
I'm just wondering because a lot of people said when I was reading this morning is that Sideshow just doesn't care because Hot Toys isn't a big enough market within their, I guess sales. I know a lot of people go to Sideshow to get their Hot Toys, but they do sell a lot of other things, premium statues, premium format figures, and is it possible that they just make more money on the Sideshow pieces and the stuff that are on this side to where, yeah, it's nice they sell Hot Toys, they can get what they can, but they just don't care enough about being the distributor for Hot Toys? Does anybody have any insight into that? Do they make that much more on their statues and things like that?
I would doubt it, bro, because Hot Toys are like front and center on their website, I feel like. I mean, it's like, I think Hot Toys are a cash cow for them. But what do you think, Carlos? I would guess.
Yeah, because Josh from Comic Concepts has said that Hot Toys for them significantly outsells their statues, right, that they sell. So I'm assuming that
it's also a third of the cost, though.
Yeah.
Right, but that's my point. Like, if it significantly outsells statues as far as like money-wise too, then I'm assuming that it would be the same thing from Sideshow. You know what I mean? And then Mafia made kind of a good point there, actually. As far as a nice perk. I guess it depends based on his comment there. No issues. It depends. Look, I bought stuff from Toys Wonderland. It's a 75% chance you may not get your figure. It may be broken or a bunch of stuff. I've ordered 35% chance. From Tim Sen, I've ordered, I want to say close to 30 or 40 figures now. One came fucked up. I'll take those odds.
So, to answer,
and Dante got great chat too.
To answer Anthony, I think everyone acknowledges that Sideshow has the best customer service. However, people speak for their wallets. Some people are willing to forego that best customer service if they can save $150 or $200. Now people are willing to roll the dice. And we're just not saying that because obviously Sideshow is feeling that even with their great customer service, that's why they're gunning for these resellers, because even as good as they are, it's hitting their bottom line. And no one's denying that that's an amazing perk. But I guess the question is, at what cost are you willing to give that up? Because of that 75% chance that you won't get the figure, or if you get it, is it worth $200? You know, that's I guess that's the question.
I saw a comment that called on Toys Wonder if my product will land.
Really? I got to find that one. Carlos, go ahead.
So I bought from Tim Cent the Arena Boba Fett, and the knee pad came broken, and I already sold the fucker. But point is that he gave me enough credit that I was able to get essentially free shipping now with the Vision, and I was able to get it really cheap for like 158, I think, some shit like 159 or whatever it was. So my point is that while Sideshow has great customer service, if you buy from the right reseller, Hong Kong reseller, you could actually do pretty well too. So I don't know.
Yeah. And Toys Wonderland, I mean, when they shipped my Loki helmet, they did give me a 30% back. It was store credit, unfortunately, but it's one of those. With Loki, though, remember what happened? I think I told you guys that one.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to cancel my first batch Endgame Loki because I wanted to get it cheaper, right? So I was like, let's cancel it. Give me a refund. They were like, all right, we'll give you store credit. And I was like, I do not want store credit. I said that in every meme. Do not give me store credit. Before I knew it, they canceled it and gave me store credit. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? So then I was like, please reinstate my order. And they were like, well, we already canceled it. I'm like, but I didn't ask you to cancel. I was like, I wanted my money back. And I said that. And finally they reinstated
like a
it.
Seinfeld episode.
I know it was, bro. I got it back. The order reinstated because it was just kind of like, oh, there's Keco's comment. There's one in my figure will land. Exactly. I mean, I got Pennywise and Toys Wonderland and everything arrived great. So I mean, you are rolling the dice. Sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it works
out for you. Sometimes that's why I can't recommend them, because you don't want to recommend something that's a roll of the dice. But me personally, I'm willing to roll the dice on some items. Yeah. The savings needs to be significant for me to roll that dice. Otherwise, I'd stay with the local retailers here. And you know, that's unfortunately that's the thing we have to play.
I mean, if they're selling single pack Boba Fett for 120, I mean that's a roll of the dice most people are willing to take.
You know? Oh, dude, to Gina's point, like I see Gina's Sideshow. Let's put it this way: if they stop carrying Hot Toys, I would never visit their site ever again, because there's just nothing there for me. And don't you guys realize maybe that's why Hot Toys can't sell their own shit on their own website? Because no one would visit Sideshow if they sell their own shit on their own website. Like literally, we'd all go to Sideshow. We all go to Hot Toys straight up. You know, I guess that's one of their, commitment clause or whatever the case is. That I mean, 3-0 can do it, Asmus can do it, and you tell me Hot Toys can't do it? You know, like to sell their own merchandise on their own website. Can you imagine if we can buy directly from Hot Toys? That would completely
that would be the game
Sideshow irrelevant. You know, like maybe they still would ship items here and there, but I think that's one of the agreement that they do have. Like, hey, we're the only ones who can carry you. You can't sell it yourself, which is but
yeah. It's true. Ash Chase, thanks so much, Ash. $10 super chat. Appreciate it, bro. Showing some love to Will and the panel. Thanks so much, Ash. God, the booty bots are out again, bro. They're
those Bitcoin.
It's all Bitcoin bots. I keep blocking them, but they keep showing up.
My bad, man. I visited the website earlier.
Oh, that's what it is. I should have known, bro.
Is there a Hong Kong reseller that you actually could? Is there a Hong Kong reseller that you could actually, confidently recommend consistently, day in and day out, for the most part?
I like 1/6 Kit. I mean, he's not really a reseller. I mean, he's a third-party seller mostly, but Tim Cent's been pretty good. Tim Cent's pretty good. Toys Buying Agent.
Tim Cent has been honestly amazing, because I bought a figure and I was like, hey, I know this has been out for a while. What happens if it comes damaged? She goes like, look, I can open this for you. I can inspect it and the whole thing. But if it does come damaged, Hot Toys no longer, it won't be able to help you with this. You'll have to keep it. I'm like, you know what, just cancel it. I don't want to do it. And he had no problem canceling it. Honestly, I could recommend Tim Cent all day long. He's been really great to me, at least.
Yeah, his boxes that he sent to me have been packaged. So it's same with Kit, 1/6 Kit and Tim Cent. They package that shit like it comes pristine. Like it comes better than the Sideshow boxes do.
Yeah, bubble wrap twice.
Yeah, it's like bubble wrap twice. Yeah, it's really well packed. So yeah, guess we'll see. But guys, what a chat there. I feel like we have time for just one more quick thing. I don't know if it'll be quick though. That's the problem. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try to go through it quick because I am getting hungry at this point. I never eat before I'm about to do things, which is the problem I think with my whole
Keep
life.
some cheese crackers on your desk there, man. That's
See,
the
Keco, I've
go-to,
seen you
man.
snack before. I gotta follow your lead, bro.
Yes, I'm always sitting there pounding food.
Yeah, I know. So what are the chances Hot Toys starts producing less figures? So I wanted to ask you guys this because I know Carlos and Optical, I want to hear them fight. So it's just kind of like Godzilla, let them fight. I want to hear that. So, and I want to hear Kiko's thoughts as like this neutral third party in this one. So I'm gonna let Keco go first before I let these two duke it out. Keco, the chance of producing less figures for Hot Toys, because Carlos, I think, has argued that like their brand should be important to them. Maybe they should produce less because they have so much that of dead stock on Sideshow, whatever. But Optical kind of, if I'm summarizing this correctly, views it as like they want to move as much stock as possible to sell more units, make more money. But I guess Carlos is more looking at it as like sort of, their brand, and they want to view it as their retail, their secondary value, whatever the product, it should maintain its value. In other words, Keco, do you think there's any chance they start producing less figures to combat the sort of oversaturation?
I'm the chaotic neutral in this, so that's where I will land, and I will give kind of both sides of the fence. I think, in my perspective, as a business, why would you ever do anything to where you could potentially not make the most money you possibly can? The only way they would stop making as many figures is if they, once again, the dead stock issue. Which I'm assuming they don't keep any, because Hot Toys isn't the distributor. They give those figures out, so nothing is sitting in their website or in their warehouse. So unless for some reason they are losing money by the amount of figures that they're making or not making, that's the only difference. That's the only thing I can think. Now, Sideshow, on the other hand, needs to figure something out because look at the dead stock that they have. But Hot Toys, they don't care because they have allotments that are taken from the resellers, from Sideshow, the distributors, all those things. So they're moving out of the warehouse because once they announce it, it's gone, and then it's done, and they're on to the next figure. So they don't really care. But I also know, so they say, Howard's a collector. Howard Chan's a collector. He gets it. And maybe he does, which, I kind of am happy that when things are exclusive, such as, they do a good job of not reissuing. Everyone's like, oh, I'm just going to wait for the reissue. But we've talked about that ad nauseum, I don't know. I don't. The only way that they'd be like, okay, I want to boost the exclusivity and boost the secondary market, and that when you get something from us, just know that it's going up in price because there's only so many out there. Mm-hmm. I don't see them doing that because they're a business at the end of the day. Yeah, Howard's a collector, but in general, no, I don't see any chance for them to do that.
Okay. So I want to get to Optical first too, because I want to save Carlos for last on this one. Optical, hit us with your logic like Keco did there about producing less figures. What do you think?
What are the chances? 0 chance that they're going to make less figures. 0.
Laughs in the Mark 50.
If they, I said this before, if they can sell the shit on Walmart, they would. That's your goal as a producer distributor, is to produce as much as you could. This, sometimes we follow a band and they're like small and we follow them around. Don't you think they have this grand idea that, hey, I want to be mainstream? And they're like, no, you haven't heard. It was like, no, I want to stay underground all my life. I just want to play in small venues forever. That's where Hot Toys is now. They're huge. They're massive now. They're stronger than ever. Why scale down? Like, why would you do that to yourself? And if you have dead stock, that's what Toys Wonderland is for. So that's why we sell Stormtroopers for $100. I think they have larger IPs now, and if they've never wanted. The reason why they were so scarce before is they didn't have the market, they didn't have the IP. That's why like the Christopher Reeve Superman is not as much, because they're in their infancy. They don't know what they're doing yet. They're testing something, but now I think their warehouse is big. Everything is big, like the factories. If they order 50,000, they get a discount and all that stuff. This is the case where, like McDonald's, you just keep on making food. If it doesn't sell, you just throw it away. That's just what happens to them now. It's like, that's just pumping out stuff, and if they don't sell, just take the loss. Imagine if it cost them $20 to make this, all they got to do is sell 1 Stormtrooper, and that's an equivalent of 5 Stormtroopers that they would throw away. So it's like, might as well do that. So they're just, especially with the competition now. No, they need to be as visible as possible to show the world, to show in art that's like, hey, what, you pump out 1 figure every 4 months? here you go. I'm going to drown these collectors with as many collectibles as possible so they don't have any money to buy your collectibles. Because
Yeah.
every month we're going to
There it
release
is.
one
Yep.
that you guys, we're going to kill you before you even get your
Bitcoin's
feet
back.
off the ground. So I think it's just going to get worse from here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think, Carlos? Because I know you got an alternative point of view here as I block these booty bots again.
Well,
don't
yes and no. I do believe Hot Toys cares about their brand, because they make innovations like the USB charging for like Spider-Man, for the Mark One. I believe they care about their brand as far as like making sure they have quality. I think they care about that side of like what makes the brand equivalent, because we buy from them because we're not going to buy from Asmus. We're not going to buy from 3.0. We want, and they have the big IP. So I think they care on quality, because if they didn't, I think we would see a decline consistently. And I don't believe we see that, right? Peacemaker, perfect example of an improvement. As far as them making small batches, though, I have said I do believe this is going to change. And I'm not saying, and I think that's where the point is getting mistaken. It's not that I believe that small batches are going to be a hot toy thing. I think we're going to start seeing small batches from Sideshow. And I think that's really where the biggest shift is going to start happening. Arena Boba Fett, now that can be an exclusive, so that's going to be a little iffy, but I've said that's the first test to what Sideshow is trying to do, right? Are they actually going to, open up the pre-order back? And if they do, then hey, it's going to be big batches all the time. But the Clone Trooper or the Chrome Clone Trooper, the Arena Boba Fett, there were exclusives, yes, but it's still not widely available. So I believe that there's one of those scenarios where Sideshow may be focusing on small batches, and I think that will affect us as collectors to actually have to pre-order, right? So while I agree on some points that yes, it doesn't make any sense for Hot Toys to do it, I think for a lot of us here, right, we're all going to look at it and see what Sideshow is going to be doing. Because let's say that Sideshow does start going on pre-orders and they start selling out during the pre-order window, or they start doing much smaller batches because they don't want to hold on to dead stock. I think we can all agree dead stock is not good for Sideshow, or really any company, obviously. So I think that's where we're going to see it's small batches on a Sideshow part. Not really. I mean, Hot Toys, bro. I mean, it's amazing. Hey, man, if they can make Marvel Legends, Black Series, prices even better for us at the quality, right? Because I'll rather pay that than pay like a $500 NR, $1,000 figure from NR or whatever it may be. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to see small batches from Sideshow, not necessarily from Hot Toys. Hot Toys can make 100,000, but if Sideshow's like, we're only going to order 2 or 3, it doesn't matter what Hot Toys does. You know what I mean? So that's really been my point. And I think this would be the first test, the Arena Boba Fett. And I think after this is going to be what's going to happen from these other figures that start coming out. And I think we can start evaluating from there. But I mean, I still believe Hot Toys cares about their brand, man. If they wouldn't be making updates, like I said, to Peacemaker or the Batman or all these different things that they're doing at this point. But no, I mean, they're going to pump out as much as they can, obviously. So,
but to your point earlier, if they make 30,000 and Sideshow just took 2,000, wouldn't they wonder what happened to the other 28? so now, yes, you took small batch, but it still doesn't make the figure extinct then, because there's 28,000 floating around there that, guess what, we can purchase outside of Sideshow.
Right. What I'm saying is that show now doesn't have to, like, my point is this: if there's 30,000 being, it's irrelevant what ends happening outside of Sideshow. I'm saying Sideshow themselves are going to have a smaller batch. And now it's going to make us have to go to the retailers. And what's going to happen is that if Sideshow starts selling out, then that's what happened with Venom, right? It sold out on Sideshow.
Sideshow in the long run, though? Because now I'm not selling. Now I'm giving other avenues opportunity to be their go-to person to buy these things.
I think temporarily it hurts them. I don't think long-term, though, because if you look at Venom and you see, hey, Venom was sold out and it went crazy in the aftermarket, Sideshow's going to be like, well, you fuckers didn't pre-order, right? Maybe you should start pre-ordering now. And the more that happens, I think long-term, right now, the long-term solution for Sideshow is to create super small batches on their side. Because holding on to dead stock, have us have these conversations and no one's buying from them. So would you rather hold on to dead stock and not make sales, or would you rather make some sales, at least at that point? Right?
What do you
it's
a
double-edged sword, but...
Yeah, sorry, Carlos, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, I didn't mean to cut him off either, but it's the same thing, because we're talking business. again.
Right.
And they can't do anything about the dead stock. They've obviously, every time they walk into the office, they walk into the warehouse, like, shit, why is there so many Thanoses in here? Why are there so many Captain Marvels? This sucks. We got to do something. Free shipping. And that's the only option they come up with.
Yeah.
But I think he does have a good point, Carlos does, about, was this a test run for, the Arena Boba Fett type of thing? Maybe, but at the end, Sideshow only hurts themselves if they're not allowing infinite pre-orders, or whatever it may be. The only way that Sideshow comes out on top is if they say, all right, new business strategy. We will be your distributor, blah, blah, blah. But you have this pre-order window. And once this pre-order window is done, you can no longer get it from us. And they need to come out and tell us that, is that here's your pre-order window if you want it from us. And is that what you're meaning by that?
Yeah. Like they have to come out and say, like, hey, we're only gonna, hey, we're gonna open the pre-order window for 30 days. What gets pre-order is what's getting made.
Yeah.
But I don't think them having a pre-order window for fucking 2 years open, it's gonna benefit them in any way, or ordering like a significant, because before they would just order a bunch knowing that they would sell out. You know what I mean? I think if you're Sideshow, you have a pre-order window.
Sideshow's got no leverage right now.
But I think that would only work if the figures itself is limited. Because now you're telling me that Sideshow is the only one who's going to limit distributing them. So why would I feel compelled to pre-order from you if Toys Wonderland or Tim Cent still has them? Like, you can scare me all you want that I can't pre-order this anymore, but I know there's 28,000 more out there.
Yeah, that's
but what if we don't know that?
I think that's why they're hell bent on getting these resellers, because they lost control. They lost control in the market, where that strategy would only work if we have no other option. The thing is, there's options out there. There's Pop Culture Zone, there's not Pop, whatever the case of Pop, Pop Collectible. If I see them there, then they're the ones competing amongst each other, right? Pop and Toys Wonderland, and I can still get a deal. I just couldn't get it from Sideshow, but I think that would only work if Hot Toys themselves limited these guys. That, hey, you can only get that infinite amount. So that's why I think it's not going to work. Yeah.
Here's two examples, right? For that one, again, let's look at Venom. See what happened in the aftermarket. They got an additional extended batch, and the prices went crazy. It was supposedly a small batch. And if you're Sideshow, think about this. Would you rather, one, have a bunch of stock sitting that you can't sell, that you have to manage SKUs, and that you have to pay insurance more on it? Or would you rather just have a small pre-order window and open it up for a certain amount of days, and that's all you're essentially ordering from Hot Toys directly? You're going to lose them. You're going to lose them both. Which one would you rather have? Dead stock that's literally sitting there, or would you rather at least not even deal with it at that point? If I'm Sideshow, I think the long-term investment is, let's take a loss. Let's make this short investment, because if you look at Venom as a perfect example of, even though there's a shit ton in the aftermarket, Sideshow runs out, everybody's buying $1,000 Venom. Next time around, you don't want that to happen. And if it keeps happening on Sideshow where things sell out in pre-order one time, and then two, and then three, eventually you're going to be like, well, it doesn't matter if there's a shit ton after that. Sideshow's not going to carry it. My point being is, you're Sideshow, you got to pick your poison. You want dead stock, right? Or do you want lower sales? Because dead stock is not selling anyway. So it's the same thing at the end of the day, but at least you can pay less on storage, can pay less on things. And it just, when the fuck is that Hulkbuster ever going to sell out?
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Like, we're talking about storage. Like, Sideshow doesn't sell half-scale statues. Like they store bigger things than Hot Toys. So I guess the risk when you do that is that now you're known as the company who always doesn't have stock. Like, why would I even go to you? Like, if you limit your things to, like, I'm only going to order.
In your Walmart, you walk into Walmart and you can't find the exclusives.
Yeah, if you don't go to Walmart, you can't find these things. You just go to Target. Now, eventually, you're gonna lose people who always visits you because you refuse to order. And I bet you, like, if they order 10,000, they get discount. If they order 5,000, it's a lower discount. So I think they're compelled to do this. The best way for them to combat this is to eliminate resellers, which is not gonna happen. So they just got to compete price wise, because them limiting themselves to X number of stocks, you'll be known as the company who's always sold out on things. And why would I even bother going to you if you're always sold out? Like, I'll just go straight to Tim Cent then. They're cheaper, because we can't say that, because Sideshow is
cheaper though. But
because now you're gonna say, hey, they can't be cheaper because Sideshow's out of stock. But now Tim Cent is competing with Toys Wonderland and Pop Collectibles. So there's still competition out there.
But
By
that's my
you
point. I
not,
don't think Sideshow would want to go and be like, oh, you know what? Let's fucking go and get into these. Well, if I'm Sideshow, I can't compete with fucking Hong Kong's, wages. Let them figure it out. Let them compete. Why am I going to try to compete with something I can't compete with? It makes zero sense. Like, I just don't like Keco used mentioned. What were the exceptions? Heavy Mando, Venom, Heavy Mando, and Arena Fett. Those are the
And Ray,
exceptions.
forgot
Or
about
they're the
Ray.
test. Like if Sideshow orders small batches, you have no choice but to go and duke it out there with Tim San or Pop Collectibles. Sideshow, we've already said this. We've all said it. They cannot compete with them. So if they can't compete with them, why the fuck are you going to join the fight? Let them figure it out. Right?
yeah,
Let them figure it out.
Time Walker Toys has really good like stuff. Like, have you guys visited that website?
Yeah, they have like third-party stuff too, don't they?
Yeah, Time Walker Toys and the other company. Do you go there often, Will?
No.
Exactly. That's what Hot Toys is going to be when they
like Toys.
their batch.
Never
They're
bought
going to
anything.
be irrelevant. That's what's going to
Oh.
happen to them. Now it's you got two
Sideshow?
options. If Sideshow starts not carrying these things and starts selling 300 at a time, why would you even visit them? Like, why would I? Like, I'm gonna go there to find out of stock things. Which is like,
Because-
we're giving coupon to what? To an out of stock
it's
item?
simple. It's a simple word, bro. Supply and demand. If you can't get it in the fucking States, then Toys Wonderland and all of them are going to be like, well, shit. Again, Venom. Hey, this thing is sold out. It's $400 or whatever. Let's bump it to $550 because you can't get it from Sideshow. You can only get it from us. 10 cents. Now they can figure it out. Sideshow
has been
can't compete.
on wait list on Sideshow for months, and they're still cheap on Hong Kong. So
Oh,
that's
Alita
that's my
too.
point.
Yeah, Alita would be another
and
one.
Alita. You're eliminating Sideshow from the conversation. Now you're letting the inmates run the asylum basically at that point.
The inmates running
I mean, the difference is that they're already running it, and you're just trying to pretend that you have a say when you don't, right? Because
So you just give. So basically, what you're saying, you just give up. Because by you saying that, you're saying that the people are magically going to be like, "Oh, I miss I miss Sideshow that much. I wish they have better stocks."
I mean, kind of. I mean, think about it, bro. If you're let me ask you, if you're a Sideshow owner, bro, why would you want to keep having that stock? Why would you want to keep doing that?
You don't, right? Like, but we're talking about Sideshow, like their warehouse is in like downtown Chicago. It's probably somewhere in remote area where land is very cheap. They don't even
It's
have
in LA, no, because Becca looked into it, and they have the warehouse with all this shit comes out of in LA. LA is expensive as fuck. That's why they're carrying.
They also sell statues that are half scale. You know how many boxes of Hot Toys they can
I'm aware of that. What I'm trying to say though is like, it still comes down to this, bro. Like, it's not about giving up. It's just about the fact that you're trying to compete something that you have no competition. It's like fucking high school students trying to fucking compete against like professional. You just can't compete. Like, what else can you do?
They're not the high school student though. They're the professional.
They're not.
They are the pro.
They do have the customer service on their side too.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to get at, and that's what I think brings it back full circle. Is the only thing that keeps Sideshow back in the game is the people that don't want to risk not potentially getting their figure or getting something broken, not being able to send it back. That is the only thing that people consider with them right now. Is that, hey,
I don't think so.
Yeah, do I know?
I don't think so. I don't think customer service is relevant anymore.
But
because
not
why
the
would
customer,
it be relevant?
but sure it is, because look at all the things that people complain about with Toys Wonderland and all that. They're like,
I think that's
well,
Toys
I
Wonderland's
don't get
biggest
my stuff. It's
downfall.
always broken. Blah 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 blah. If I don't get
We're
it,
still
then I'm
buying
fucked. Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, people do it all the time, but I think that's the only saving grace Sideshow has right now.
Right. That's their only advantage. Now, it comes with a cost. We all know that.
Exactly.
I guess the difference is for them to fight that, it's not by not selling, it's by selling low. That's what they need to combat it with. And they got to figure that out. Because if they don't do that, they're going to be the next, Toy Walker or whatever their name is. Because
Time Walker Toys,
Time Walker Toys. Yeah.
My thing is like, yeah, I know Anthony and VC Figures say it's a thing. No, it's not. Customer service is irrelevant, because if you can get that same, because last I checked, Anthony said he just bought 2 troopers for $100 from Toys Wonderland. Why didn't you buy it full price from?
But you can't do that for like the Iron Man. If you get a broken Iron Man for $300, then you're out $300. That's different than $100 trooper. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but my point is still people are still buying it. They're still taking that risk. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, out of 10 figures or whatever it is, let's be honest, right? Toys Wonderland, maybe some arrive broken. And sure, they might give you store credit. Maybe you end up winning through Amex or credit cards, whatever it may be. There's still a ton of figures that arrive and then arrive fine. You know what I mean? So like, I just feel like from a Sideshow perspective, right? They have to look at it and say like, well, why are we going to be holding on to this? If we end up being the website that doesn't have any stock, how is that better than being the website that we make fun of because they give us a 10% coupon? How is that better? I don't understand how that's better.
I said this before, like dead stock has always been there with RoboCop, Adam West, and all that stuff. Now, this Toys Wonderland, do they add to it? Sure. But it's not like there's always $100 Stormtrooper at Toys Wonderland. It's very rare. I can count the number of times that I went to Toys Wonderland, and it's special events like that, you know, where it's dirt cheap. What Keco is saying is like their customer service, it does matter. Because if you're only saving $50 from Toys Wonderland, I'd rather get the customer service. The savings needs to be significant for me to go to Toys Wonderland. Now, if it's not, and you don't have a stock, so if it's not that significant, and I go to Sideshow and you don't have stock, I have to go to Toys Wonderland because I want that figure. So now you are eliminating yourself from that equation. So why would they do that to themselves?
Because for the simple fact that we can say, hey, this is $495. That's not $495. Tell me every single time a figure has came out and you'd be like $495, or everyone in this panel, that's worth like $350. Sideshow won't ever give you that shit. You got to wait. No. If it's 50, you know what happens if a figure is $50 less? Oh, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. See, maybe Toys Wonderland gives us a bigger discount during Black Friday, or see what happens here. But $50 wouldn't make someone buy this from Sideshow. I mean, maybe there's some collectors, maybe they will. But that's why things are sitting, and that's why, you know, Sideshow is trying to take down these Hong Kong resellers. If it's $50 less, you wouldn't have bought it. You wouldn't have bought it from Sideshow regardless. Or you're going to probably, if you're the collector like Keco who wants it first, hey, this is irrelevant. But if you're the collector like most of us, the game is wait and see what happens and let's get the cheapest figure. You're not waiting. You're not doing a Sideshow thing. You're waiting for like a $75 coupon on a Captain America or some shit, right?
Which honestly, I would have bought from Sideshow instead of buying it from Tim Cent. Now that we know it's possible.
I wish I waited on that Captain America.
I wish
Good point.
But that's my point. That's my point right there. Now that they know it's possible, why would you buy this? Oh, it's $50 less on Toys Wonderland. I should buy it from Sideshow. No, the reality is that tells you should probably just keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting, because maybe, I don't know, pop culture goes on ahead and lists it for like half because they can't sell it. Just keep waiting. I don't think customer service is that as important as we all make it out to seem. Maybe if it's like Christmas, maybe if it's like a birthday or a one-time collector or a newbie, I don't think it's that important. Well, for sure, for like maybe a tumbler or a big piece, sure. But for Iron Mans and all those different things, sometimes that may matter. But if the price is right, I don't think it's relevant. And I
really feel like that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I don't think we've all said a 10% discount on a hot toy figure from Sideshow is a fucking joke. So if it's the same discount on Toys Wonderland, we still wouldn't buy it, or most of us wouldn't. We're just going to wait.
The solution is they take less. So if that's
you're
the
already
case,
taking less.
So even if I took less, if they're still cheaper than what your less is, so you would still have dead stock then, regardless if you took less.
Say that again.
So Sideshow already took, like, let's say Rescue, right? To your point, okay, I'm only going to take 200 Rescue, but Rescue's still cheaper, then you still have dead stock then, because you still can't move it. So regardless if you have a lot or a little bit,
that's what we said, right? I think Sideshow's thing is going to be a pre-order window, right? Like, hey, this is all we're making and that's all we're doing, right? Even if it's cheaper, it's easier to move 200 figures than moving 2,000 of them. And at the end of the day, it's just things you don't have to worry about. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a perfect example. You know, X06, like, sure, it's Star Trek, who cares? But the whole point is, like, at least they have, you know, time windows. You know what I mean? Like, it's actual things that sell out, and then, hey, it goes up in value after. What I'm trying to say is, like, you know, it's been to just buying from Toys just because it's what does it say? I've seen people justifying buying from Toys just because it's $50.
$50's not enough to buy the Toys Wonderland. It's
not.
not.
My point.
Depends on the figure, I guess, but yeah.
Like Vision. If I was to be like, hey, I want to buy Vision, everyone here, if it would have been stock right now on Sideshow, no one would have been like, hey, you know what? You should take that 10% coupon they gave you. No one here in this panel would have said that's a good deal. But hey, I'm gonna take this $158 deal from Tim Cent. Everyone's like, yeah, that's a hell of a deal. You should move on that. Fuck Sideshow's customer service, right? Like, that's my point. I think Sideshow's customer service is important for statue collectors, for maybe if you want to buy a tumbler, maybe a really big piece. I don't think the average 1/6 collector would care about this, man, because I don't think that many come broken. So
One of the things I was trying to say is that I guess this really does come down to your collecting philosophy, because what we
Right,
talked about at the beginning of the show is that if your deal is to save as much money as you can, cool. But for me, like, I don't want to just like wait around and hope for the best, because I want stuff on my shelf. I don't want hopes and dreams out there or like pictures of pre-orders or something like that. I want the actual product. And so for me, I want to be able to say, here's my stuff. And I guess it is a collecting philosophy, and I guess only you can answer that yourself. So
I guess the question would be, how many collectors are like you? And I feel like the majority right now are wait and get the cheapest as possible. Well, it's nothing wrong with what you do. I feel like the majority wouldn't be like that. You know what I
don't
mean?
know. I see a little bit of both, but yeah. I mean, I have seen that, Keco. I have seen a shift, I would say. Like maybe about a year ago, it was different. Like a year ago, like it was like the resellers could charge first batch prices, whatever they wanted. And now it's like, it's changing from what I've noticed a little bit. I mean, it's shifting. But I don't know. I've seen both sides of it for sure. There's definitely people that want the figure fast, no doubt about it. So, you know, if Sideshow were to incentivize and offer like, you know, like some kind of first batch system, that might be nice. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're offering discount and first batch, then you got a conversation.
Yeah. So, here's an example. Like, let's say you bought 10 figures from Toys Wonderland. And again, I'm not recommending anyone should, because you know, it's a high risk. But let's say every figure you're getting $100 off, right? Essentially, because that's basically what I got from 10 cents. So I'm sure you can get it from Toys Wonderland. You buy 10 figures as $1,000 off, right? You're getting. You buy a $300 Iron Man, and your Iron Man became broken or whatever, it wasn't the greatest, right? Well, you still come out on top, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're still saving a shit ton from the other ones. Maybe you lost on one. So I don't know. I'm all up. That's my point. Why would we buy from Sideshow? Like, I know there's some people who have said, hey, like Sideshow, it's like customer service, it's insurance, you don't need it. I don't think so. I mean, I don't insure my fucking iPad. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insuring things that are irrelevant. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't think
customer service definitely matters to me, I will say. Like,
yeah, it depends though, because if you're the type of collector who can't afford, let's say you got a figure and, you know, there's a chip on, you know, the shield of Captain America. If you can live with that, you know, and then they give you 10% off, good for you. But to some, I'd rather have like a pristine Captain America, you know. So
wait, you're saying you're like that?
To some degree, yeah. Like the figures that I don't care as much, you know, let's say, I don't know, Taskmaster. That's all right. I'd rather save.
Oh yeah,
but for let's say 100%. Dark Knight or something, I want that perfect, you know.
Or Iron Man. Yeah,
Iron Man, you want that perfect. But the thing is, we talk about like this Hong Kong retailers where they're always cheap, but they're not. Like there's only certain occasions where they're significantly cheaper. There's only select figures and select moments that they're significantly cheaper for us to disregard Sideshow. So Sideshow is not completely down and out here where they're just outnumbered. They're just trying to, I guess, limit what's happening out there the best way they could, because they're growing. And it's, you know, it's kind of like US when they see a country that's growing, you got to go to war with them right away before they start really building momentum. That's what they're doing here. And it's not every day that there's $100 trooper. It's not every day that, I mean, the 2-pack boba is already $400, you know. So if you do what you're saying in your Sideshow, then you just eliminated yourself from that equation, because who are you competing? Yourself now, because you don't have it in stock. So I guess they just got to compete with these guys a lot smarter, because they didn't change their business model, not at all. Is lowering the batches the solution? Maybe. I don't think so, because now you're just creating a scare tactics. They're already douchey when they do that numbered thing. Imagine saying it's like, hey man, we only got 30. People are already crucifying them for having like a timed number. You know? So,
but I guess that's my point though, right? I mean, from Sideshow, if you're looking at it again, going back to it, it's like, I just don't see, like, yeah, you're maybe not in the equation, but are you really gonna be in the equation? Like, okay, so you missed the 2-pack Boba Fett deal. I don't think many of them were like, oh.
So Boba now
that
is
one,
450, back on 450 at Toys Wonderland, right? And
how many people who missed the sale? How many people who missed the sale? Ah, fuck, I missed the sale. Let me go run to Sideshow and buy it. No, they didn't. They were like, oh, I missed the sale. I'm gonna wait for another one.
How about those people?
That's what I did.
Yeah, but how about those people who saw the review and was like, man, I want it now. You know what? That's an excellent looking figure. The one who's new, the one who has FOMO. Man, I saw the review. It's amazing. I want to get it now.
Yeah,
let me go. Oh man, they're out of stock. You know. So now
I guess the question goes back to what percentage of people are new collectors? What percentage are the ones that are actually, because it's not moving the needle for Sideshow, because if it was, they wouldn't care about what Toys Wonderland is doing. So it must be a very small percentage that's doing that. Because again, if it wasn't, then they wouldn't care, but they do.
Again, I think it's more about control. Are their bottom line
I think
hurting? Sure.
Good,
sure. But you want the devil that's in the palm of your hands, that a devil that you can't control. That's what they want. They didn't care about Tim Cent, nothing like that. They can't control this guy. You know, they can't. So
no, and they're just getting bigger.
Great points.
Yeah, dude, great discussion, guys. Seriously, that was really good. I enjoyed listening to that. Seriously, guys, we got to wrap it up though, because I'm hungry AF. So I want to wrap this up because I'm not like Keco. I didn't pack my crackers. Keco, dude, thanks so much for joining, bro. What's coming up on the Keco Collects channel? Because you've been dropping some fire content, I must say.
I do appreciate that. And you had asked me yesterday to be on the show, and I had no idea when I woke up this morning that we'd have so much fun topics to talk about. So
I didn't either, honestly.
So this was a gift from the gods to be able to be on here with the collecting gods. So I appreciate you being on here, everybody with the panel and in the chat. You know, fantastic. Love the topics. So much fun. Will, thank you as always. But quick plug for myself. Yeah, a lot of things are happening on the channel. Been trying to put out more content there. That's one of my goals. Trying to do one a week. Looking at the analytics to see when the best time to post is, which I'm surprised because I did what I was supposed to do, and I put at how to do toy photography because everyone's like, let's figure that out. One of my worst received videos ever. And so I literally put like 10 hours into that thing, you know, because I was taking a picture, but also videotaping the process, you know, so it was a lot of work. Worst received video on the channel ever. So, but if you do want to actually figure out how to do toy photography, like some of the things I do on my Instagram, free to check that out. But yeah, my channel is, we're approaching that 4,000 mark, which I'm excited about. You know, hopefully we can get there real soon. And then we're approaching the 6,000 mark on Instagram. So that's where we're working on right now. Toy photos, toy collection things, and then YouTube philosophy type videos. That's what we do. I just don't always just review, and I'm not your average YouTube 6 scale person. That's why I try to market myself as at this point. So, but thanks for having me, Will. I do appreciate that.
Thanks for joining, man. Always a awesome blessing to have you here, bro. Like all you guys, seriously. So blessing. Optical. Yeah, bro. Optical, you're a blessing too, bro. I mean, Carlos is a blessing in disguise, but you're a blessing. So yeah. Optical, how you what's coming up on the channel, bro? You know, I feel like I haven't seen you stream lately, other than with Carlos, which is a huge mistake, obviously.
It was a terrible mistake. You know? Like some people said I should have swallowed, but
yeah, true. Carlos does bring the views though, seriously.
But no, it was so we streamed last night. So to all the audience, it was thank you for being there, and don't expect a lot of that. Yeah, it's not gonna happen again. It's not gonna happen next month. I'm gonna wait for the next drama because that brings
wait for the next drama just to
yeah. So that's why just want to thank Toys Wonderland for bringing views into my channel and adding a few more subscribers. You know, I always wanted to dip into these things, even though I don't care. You know, it just benefits me individually. So thank you, Toys Wonderland. But no, yeah, I mean, I got a few ones. I got Spider-Man DX19. Was that Taskmaster finally arrived? So yeah, after that, we'll see. You know,
nice, dude. Sounds very exciting, bro. And always happy to have you here as well. Also a blessing to have you here. Also a blessing to have Carlos. I just like messing with Carlos, but Carlos brings the heat with these topics, bro. So I always got to bring him on here just to drop some knowledge on us. Carlos, is there anything you want to plug, dude? I always ask you this, but I feel like I have to be curious.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun, and Optical, obviously one of my a good collecting friend. So I always love enjoying having a friendly argument with him, especially about how Cam Newton is a bust. About all this, you know what I mean? So thank you for having me. I don't know if I'm gonna be this Sunday. You haven't invited me yet, but if I am,
well,
I'm gonna.
If you want to invite,
it's too controversial, man.
You're too controversial. Only when Toys Wonderland comes up. That's it.
No,
I mean, but you're invited, Carlos. If you want to come on Sunday, bro, you can be there. So,
yeah. I'll start shit up on purpose.
Would love to have you, dude. As always. So,
worst thing that can happen is
yeah, dude, appreciate having you as always, dude. And thanks to Toys Wonderland for the views. And it's I want to thank you, everyone, Philip, and everyone included. Thank you, and also Hot Toys for putting the announcement out. So no, I'm just joking. I'm just being fucking dumb. But
no, we're not.
It was a fun conversation, and it's a productive one because we get to talk about all this important stuff that that affects everyone in collecting. So, guys, Collectors Mingle Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll do some video game live streams coming up soon. We did one last night. What were you gonna say, Carlos?
You highlighted this comment. So what did we learn? If you pre-ordered and you're a noob and screwed Sideshow, everyone should find a reseller. I guess he wasn't paying attention to the whole stream.
You pre-order your
sound like
it. Gotcha. Everyone just find a reseller. Yeah, Pro Tours Wonderland over here. It's clearly.
I got a tattoo on my back, so
dude,
add to cart, baby. Add to cart. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's a Toys Wonderland sponsorship offer, and then they'll be like, nah, bro. It's like, we'll give you free Iron Man. It's like, where do I get the tattoo? Like, where do you want it? Philip can do it himself. Guys, that's it. Collectors Mingle Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now, though. Peace out. Bye.